Hello, welcome to Pyjama Preaching for the 12th of February. I'm sitting looking out the window. It's actually Wednesday, and I decided I'd record Fridays as well. And I've just looked, and we're at the end of chapter 13. And then there's going to be, next week, I'm going to do something different, then start back on Mark's Gospel, because then, amazingly, it will synchronize to finish on the day after Easter Sunday. Easter Monday. And it all then fits in with the chronology of Christ's crucifixion and resurrection. So I hope you'll find those useful. So for today, we're reading the last of chapter 13, verses 28 to 37. Jesus says, you know how to read the seasons. You see a tree in blossom and you know that summer's just around the corner. And I was going to go out and film against my viburnum that is flowering. However, it's too cold even for you. So I'm not going out. I'm staying in the warm. So Jesus says, in the same way, these are the signs of my return. I tell you straight, the human race won't end until all this happens. The cosmos will end one day, but my words stand forever. Before you ask, not even I know the exact timing of all of this. Only God himself, so keep your eye on the ball. Imagine a man going on a business trip. He leaves people in charge, each with their own responsibility. One is told to watch for the owner's return. Imagine that's your job. Keep your eyes open, because the owner of this world could return at any time of day or night. How embarrassing if he should find you fast asleep. My message is simple. Stay awake. And that has a massive poignancy at the moment with the having received the kidney transplant call, and I'm now on high alert, ready for the next phone call. And so that thought of expectation and promise and hope and all that lot becomes close and personal for two reasons. One, for me as a Christian, and two, for me as a renal patient. So what does Barclay tell us about this? He says there are three special things to note about this passage. He said it's sometimes held that when Jesus said these things were to happen within this generation, he was in error. But Jesus was right, for the sentence doesn't refer to the second coming. It could not, when the next sentence says he doesn't know when that day is going to be. It refers to Jesus' prophecies about the fall of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple, and they were abundantly fulfilled. Secondly, Jesus says that he doesn't know the day or the hour when he will come again. There were things which even he left without questioning in the hands of God. There can be no greater warning and rebuke to those who work out dates and timetables, which is ironic. I've just wanted to try and work out how to fit in the rest of Mark's Gospel into between now and Easter. But I'm not working out Christ's coming again timetable though. Surely it's nothing less than blasphemy for us to inquire into that of which our Lord consented to be ignorant. And Jesus draws a practical conclusion. We're like those who know their master will come, but who don't know when. We live in the shadow of eternity. There's no reason for fearful or hysterical expectation, but it means that day by day our work must be completed. It means that we must so live that it doesn't matter when he comes. It gives us the great task of making every day fit for him to see and being a preparation to meet the King. What a great promise, what a great expectation. And summing up the whole of chapter 13, William Barclay, reading the label on the front cover, did say that it was a difficult chapter, but that in the end it had a permanent truth to tell. And it does, it tells us that God's people are the only ones who can see into the secrets of history. Jesus saw the fate of Jerusalem, although others were blind to it. Leaders of real stature must be men and women of God. To guide any country, its leaders must themselves be God-guided. Only those who know God can enter into something of the plan of God. Secondly, it tells us the two things about the doctrine of the second coming. Firstly, that it tells us that it contains a fact we forget or disregard at our peril. And secondly, it tells us that the imagery in which it's clothed is the imagery of Jesus' his own time, and that to speculate on it is useless, when Jesus himself was content not to know. The only thing of which we can be sure is that history is going somewhere. There is a consummation to come. And finally, it tells us of all things to forget God and to become immersed in material concerns is most foolish. The truly wise never forget that they must be ready when the summons comes. For those who live in that memory, the end will not be terror, but eternal joy. And that's where we leave chapter 13, in a state of eternal expectation, eternal hope, and eternal joy. What a great place to be in, actually. Anyway, I shall see you on Monday with something different. Not sure what yet. I'm praying about it. Anyway, God bless. Take care.